Hello everyone and welcome to today's assembly. Now we've been focusing this week on Children's Mental Health Week, and today's assembly is all about our mental health. So I think we should start the assembly by asking the question, why is mental health so important? Well, mental health is something that affects every single one of us, because our mental health affects our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and mental health is something that we all have. Now, just like we all have physical health, there are times when we feel pretty good and our bodies may feel pretty good, but there are also times when we may pick up a cold, or we may have an injury, or we may not be well. Now, just in the same way that our bodies have variations in how we're feeling, so do our minds as well. And recognising that, being able to talk about it is so important, and it's something at Lawrence Sheriff now that we've been doing for an increasing number of years through our Movember campaign. Children's Mental Health Week first began 5 years ago, and the focus of this year is all about expressing yourself. So why is it important to express yourself? Because expressing yourself is about finding ways to share feelings, thoughts, or ideas through creativity. Now this could be through art, music, writing and poetry, dance, drama, photography and film, or doing any activity that makes you feel good. It's important to remember that being able to express yourself is not about being the best at something or putting in a performance for others. It's about finding ways to know who you are, to show who you are, and show the world that you can feel good about yourself. So throughout this week, we've been encouraging you to express yourself in as many different ways that you can. Now, when it comes to our mental health, we are all different. There's no one thing that helps every single person. It's about finding what works for you. But one thing we have in common as people as it's important to interact with one another. It's important to connect with one another. And over the past 10 months, that's not been easy. And we've had to find lots of creative ways to be able to stay in contact with our friends and our family. Talking to people and being able to help people by just listening sometimes is an essential way that we can look after our mental health. So why is exercise important? The first reason is when we exercise, our body releases chemicals called endorphins. Endorphins can raise our mood and generally help us feel better about ourselves. What is important when we exercise is that we do an activity we enjoy, and whenever possible, we go outside and enjoy the benefits of the outdoors. The other reason is when we exercise, we can set ourselves challenges. And when we set ourselves challenges and goals, as long as they're realistic, then we can build our confidence by meeting these challenges. And finally, when we exercise, do physical activity or play sport, then it gives us the opportunity to forget our worries for a period of time, take our mind off things and express ourselves through sport. Now, for the final part of this assembly, I'm going to be asking you to join myself, Mr. Orford and Mrs. Standing for our Sheriff Short Circuit. So we've been doing these over the course of this week, and I'd like you to all join in and have a go at doing our short circuit
It's
together.
Mr. Orford, Head of PE at Lawrence Sheriff School. We're joined by Mr. Chislett, Miss Standing and a couple of Year 7s to do our last short Sheriff Circuit of the week. Just a couple of ideas for you to put into your own routines, so just pay attention, see what you get. Before we start, we need to do a quick warm-up. So can we jog on the spot, guys? Just jog on the spot, keep the knees nice and low, and make sure we move our arms as well. And then what we're going to do, we're going to punch up to the ceiling. So punch up to the ceiling, and then down to the floor, and then out to the sides, and then alternating forwards. Up to the ceiling, down to the floor, out to the side, and alternating forwards. Okay, we're now going to pogo, so onto our toes, and we're just going to bounce on our toes with our hands on our hips. Keep that going there. And then we're going to link this standing to one another, so we're just going to switch our legs over. So keeping that bounce. And the reason we're doing this is to raise our heart rate. So we're just going to raise the heart rate, send that nice warm blood to the working muscles, make them more pliable and less likely to snap or get injured. I say go, we're just going to raise the knees up for 5 seconds, up to our hands. 3, 2, 1, go. So just raise those knees. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to a jump. When I say go, we're going to do a short, sharp sprint for 5 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to a jump. Okay, when I say go, we're going to do 5 star jumps. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our heart rate should be up there. You can tell because your breathing rate will also go up. We're just going to activate and mobilise the key joints that we're going to use. So the first we're going to do, we're just going to go up onto our calves, hold it for a second at the top, and then back down. Just calf raises, up for a couple of seconds, and then back down. Do 5 or 6 of those, and then we're going to go into a half lunge. So we're going to lunge halfway, and then back up. We're not doing a full lunge, Mr. Chisler. Okay, we're not doing a full lunge. We're just going to activate the hip and the knee. And then, once you're done through that, we're going to go into a half squat. So, half squat, just exercise flexion of the knee, and then back up. So 6 or 7 of those. And then just the one for the day, which we do it in a walkout. So there's 2 walkouts. So we're going to go down into our plank position and then back up. And that's just going to warm our shoulders up a little bit and get them ready. Okay, so that's a really quick warm up. You need to probably warm up a little bit longer and we've got a bit of time. So we're going to go straight in to our activities. Each member of staff has picked their favourite activity or one of their favourite bodyweight exercises that you can do at home with no equipment and very limited space, and then you can put these into your own routines of 6 or 7 exercises to do this afternoon. So first off, Miss Stanley's going to take us through her favourite of the week.
We're going to start with squats. So if you start with your feet under your hips, but you're actually going to take 2 steps of the foot out to the side, so you've got wide legs. You're going to turn your feet out slightly, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Okay. And we're going to squat. So, bottom back. Because your legs are wide, you should be able to go fairly deep. As you start to warm up, you should be able to get deeper still. What you can do, if you want to, pulse it down at the bottom. Even more effort. Let's have a jump as well. Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Last 5. Good job.
Good. Okay, so this one we're going to work on our core, so that was working our legs. So for our core, we're going to do an easier one, which is just our box standard plank. If you want to adapt that any way that you may have seen or are comfortable with, then feel free. But generally speaking, we want to tense our bum, we want our abdominals, so our tummy muscles nice and tense. We want to look slightly forward and slightly down, and we want a nice equilateral position, so arms shoulder width apart, feet together. If you're struggling with balance, take your feet apart a little bit. We're going to hold this position on our forearms for 30 seconds. To make it slightly harder, we're going to do a plank jack. So what we're going to do from this position is take our legs apart, about 45 degrees, give or take, and then back together, and you'll have a natural rock at the hips, but we're not touching the mat. To make that harder still, we're going to go into a side plank, and then our bottom leg, so I'm on my right arm, so my right leg is going to kick through. And then I'm going back into a normal position, side plank, kick through. Back into base position, side plank, kick through. Okay, ready? 30 seconds, off we go. So we've got our plank, we've got our plank jacks, or we've got our side plank, and then a controlled kick through. So back to there. Side break. Kick through. All about control, this, not about speed. The more fluid the movement, the better. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop that. It's just two arms.
Okay, so this is your rest period now. I'm going to demonstrate the next exercise, which is going to be narrow arm push-ups, sometimes called chaturanga push-ups. So you're going to create a triangle between your thumb and your fingers, and you're going to put it on the mat. Now if that's too difficult, you can make it slightly wider. I'm going to go with a narrow grip. You create a plank position with your hands under your shoulders, and what you're going to do is bring your elbows back and up, just like so. Now that's very, very core focused. It's working the triceps and the shoulders. So if it's too difficult, what you can do is put your legs on the floor, don't cross your legs, and what I want you to do is just bend your elbows. The further away your knees are from your arms, the harder it is, the longer the lever. The closer they are, the easier it is. Are we ready? 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Keep it going. It's good. You should be feeling it on your shoulders, your chest, and the backs of your arms. If it gets too difficult, put your knees on the floor, and just have a bit of break. That really helps if you try and do 1 or 2 the hard way. Keep it going. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1, and relax. Right there.
Okay, so thanks for joining us, guys. They're just our 3 sort of favourite exercises from this particular week. Please add them to all the other ones that have been posted on the Instagram feed, and any more that you particularly like, and make yourself a circuit of at least 6 exercises. Do it as many times as necessary in order to get the full benefit. So until you're really sweating and you've worked up a decent amount of, or burnt off a decent amount of energy, okay? So that's it really for this week. But do keep on with this short circuit stuff. We'll be posting some more stuff for you next week. Please don't negate the following things. A decent cool down at the end of it. That's what we're going to do now off the camera. Make sure we cool down, bring those temperature and heart rate right back down, and stretch off so we avoid injury. And also take on some fluid and some food to replenish those stores. Okay, so from me, myself, and I, Mr. Chislett, and Miss Standing, have a good weekend.